Just a week after the Lions put up 44 points on Washington, 9 points was all they could muster against this Philly defense. The Eagles win this one 16-9. Welcome back to the BetCanada channel. Katie Caldwell and Jeff Lloyd back with you today. Jeff, my biggest takeaway from this one, the Eagles defensive line completely took over that game. Jared Goff couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, I mean, every time you saw the camera on Jared Goff, it just looked like a guy, who had no business, absolutely zero business, wanted nothing to do with that game. It just was, I mean, 14-37 is an absolute brutal day.
Yes.
Every time a play ended, I mean, and you just knew because, like, you saw the ball and it was either tipped or it was wildly incomplete. And it was like, all right, well, let's flash on over to what poor sap is helping Jared Goff off the ground yet again. So just, to get beat like that and have your team basically not give you anything, offensively. And,
Mhm.
Dan Campbell, look, there's a reason punters and kickers exist in this league. And look, I am all for the, if you think it and go, all of that. But sometimes, and even with analytics and percentages, and oh, well, it's 91.7% of the time. I will be the guy that will say, hey, what about that 8%? Just once, can we
Mm.
consider that 8% that maybe this is not the way we should keep doing this. And the other thing is yes, those things always work for a team like Detroit. When you're doing well, there
Mm.
was nothing going well yesterday that gave you the ultra confidence to say, "Yeah, let's run another play." And
Yeah.
look, you know what? The 7th time is gonna be the time we're gonna break on through. And that is where it's a tough loss and a really tough loss for Detroit because snoozer game, absolute snoozer of a
It
game.
was.
Somebody had to go home with a W. And Detroit, if you wanna be that team, that you take that W even though you don't deserve it, and you get out of Philadelphia as fast as you can. It does nothing for me, and I've told this, I said it going in, is nothing does anything for me for Philadelphia right now. Their offense is so lifeless. There is nothing that even when, like, AJ Brown, who's screaming he's not getting the ball, catches the ball, puts it down, runs back to, could you at least show me you're excited? Show me something to believe that you guys are alive here. That Eagles defense, that is alive.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is an amazing lively group, and you got the 2D tackles, Nakobe Dean, who went through all of those injury things, and this showed what he's kinda been doing as far as rehab, trying to find anything different, ballet, anything, and here was a guy that you knew his knee was blue to bits, but, I mean, blowing through the line of scrimmage, putting hits on Jared Goff. That's probably the biggest takeaway you have from last night is, and these are conversations we certainly have had now for months. There were a
Mhm.
lot of new moving parts for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was taking a little while. Well, that little while seems like it's worked. It's marinated. It's now become the strongest part of this Eagles team right now. The
Mhm.
Eagles offense is extremely suspect, but that defense is really picking up confidence and playing well.
I felt the same as I did against the Packers the week before, where Jeff, I'll be honest, I couldn't wait for that game to end. I just find they're a bit of a tough watch right now. And you're right, it was another defensive, dominant performance by the Eagles, but I can't help but want more from Kevin Patullo and this offense. Like it was, and we've talked about this so many times this season with all the pieces they have. Why does it still have to be such a tough watch?
But even the other thing would be me if I was the new offensive coordinator. I would do anything I could. Can we get away from the tush push? Because one of the
Thank
things that
you.
it's not that it's not successful, and it is. It's not nearly as successful as it used to be. But how many times in a 3rd and 1 situation, a 4th and 1 situation, do you see a good running back go 35, 40 yards? Because everybody is so jammed into a box
Yep.
that you see a good player see one cut, make it, and all of a sudden, what was just hopefully the play to get the yard became so much more. The tush push is designed to do one thing, get the ball over that line.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to run it. The referees don't know how to call it. The whole thing. And you saw at Detroit yesterday just saying, well, if you're going to move your hands, I'm going to move my hands. And then
Mhm.
they're trying to slap the hands away. Like, but that's the problem with it is for me, 3rd and inches can be in a really exciting play. And
Yes.
especially if I have Saquon Barkley or if I have a guy like Jalen Hurts, and you know what? If I fake the dive, to Saquon Barkley and I hit my tight end in the flat, we can get yards that way. It did I need something more from
Mhm.
Philly because Philly feels like the team that is just gonna keep going until maybe they don't make the Super Bowl, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, man, well, we needed to make some changes." Well, no, you're getting lucky right
Yeah.
now. You're not good right now. You're lucky right now.
Quick pause. If you haven't subscribed to the BetCanada YouTube channel, you can do so below. It's free and it helps support our channel so we can keep bringing you NFL and NHL content. Now, back to the show. I was one of the people in the offseason honking about, well, if you don't like the tush push, just get better at defending it. And now, just as a viewer of football, I don't want it in the game anymore. The way that it slows down the game, and there's been all this controversy of how many times have we seen the false starts, and I'm feeling very over the tush push. And you're right. Like I want to see third and inches run Saquon. Did and same like you said, you have Jalen Hurts as well. Did this game change how you view either of these teams within the NFC?
I think you really have to have some conversations in regards to Detroit. And, they were making brought it up a lot during the telecast. Oh, well, Sam Laporte is a big loss. And I'm not going to deny it's not, but I've
But you're
talked about
not
this
putting
with
up 35 more points if Sam Laporte was there.
exactly. I think one of the things is, and this is where it becomes interesting for Detroit, because this is something I kind of bring up is Detroit is not the same outside on grass as they are at home.
Mm,
So now you are already most likely conceding that there will be no home field advantage because there's a good chance it's either going to go to Los Angeles or Seattle. You are conceding that you might not win the NFC North. They have a record less than the Chicago Bears right now. That is a legit conversation and
what
statement to be
world is
had.
this?
Right now, the Chicago Bears have a better record than Detroit Lions. So as far as the NFC North, that is something. So that means you're going straight road games to get you through. So
Mhm.
Detroit, you expect a better offensive line play, didn't get it.
Yep.
The defense, I'll be honest, you tell me, you lost and only gave up 16 on the road to Philadelphia. I don't know how I can harp on your defense. I would have been furious if you called that defensive pass interference late on my guy late in the game, because that game would have went on another 20 minutes because you would have thrown me out, you would have thrown out, and then I would have told my
Yeah.
assistant coach, "You go yell at him till you get thrown out, then you go." You cannot make that call in that instance in any way whatsoever.
No.
You basically just and look, Detroit didn't deserve it, but in the same respect, you just don't give it to Philadelphia with a call like that.
Mhm.
Terrible. I'm glad. Not usually a huge Chris Collinsworth guy, but him going off live about that call,
He
I
was
was
saying everything I was thinking.
yep. It was terrible. Somebody say something. And Collinsworth just absolutely leveled and laid into him
Yeah.
as he should have. And and where the officiating everybody's here. And look, it's the last game of Sunday. We're all here. We're not leaving. We know it's close and ugly, but I'm not going to leave because maybe I leave and something good happen. And then you call that. All
Yep.
right. Well, now everybody shut it down. Go on home. Nobody wants to be here anymore. You just ruined the entire night for everybody.
Well, and that was the thing about that is I don't usually like to harp on referee calls because everybody thinks that their team is the most penalized and that the Chiefs never get a call on anything, but it's just not the reality. Like I do like having the human element in the game, but I did have this one in the rundown for today too just because in a day of so many fantastic finishes, I at least wanted to give this one a chance. And yeah, Collinsworth was pissed and everything that he was saying, I was sitting there nodding my head going, "Yep, yep, I couldn't agree more with you on this one."
I had a buddy of mine was he did high school games and college games for a long time, and there was like a standing rule among his crew. The game is within a touchdown.
Don't call
Offsides,
it.
no offsides, false start. Everybody can see it. You call it. Nobody in the crowd has any idea whether or not pass interference occurred or not. So put your hands in your pocket, and they would even tell the players, guys, when this gets to if this gets to the money
Mhm.
time, you boys are out here and you just play ball. If it's an absolute mugging, we will call it. But other than that, absolutely, boys, just go out and do what you do best.
Yep.
You just there's rules exist, yes, but if you don't know whether or not the infraction happened, you're a fool for just throwing a flag. And even Collinsworth, actually, now that we're looking at it even more, it looks more like offensive
Like,
pass
oh, yeah.
interference. That was the most terrible part is you kept replaying it. We knew already it wasn't defensive pass interference. No, it was AJ Brown basically picking on a littler guy and shoved him out of the picture.